Shelly-Ann Fraser-Pryce wins, crowned by Serena Williams. Athlos NYC 2025. Full race highlights included. Yes, people, the GOAT crowns the GOAT. Welcome back to the channel, people. Welcome back to the channel. If this is your first time here, thank you for making it Peter Lloyd World. Go ahead, please hit the subscribe button. We continue to grow. When you do that, hit the notification bell so you know when the next video drops, you drop a video each one today in Peter Lloyd World. Also, enjoy the content, please hit that like button and finally leave your thoughts. So, are you ready? Yep. Good to go. Well, I would have to say that Athlos number 2 2025, which was held, of course, in the big NYC, New York City, was a resounding success for the promoters. People, this was truly an athletic party. Now, if you are unaware, Athlos is a one-day event in women's track and field that celebrates women only. And this year, they decided to add the women's long jump to what was generally a track event. And I had fun watching this, people. I don't know about you, but I felt like I should be there partying. So first up, let's talk about the crowning of the great one herself. Crowned by the great one herself in women's tennis. There can be almost no argument against the fact that Shelly-Ann Fraser-Pryce is the greatest female 100-meter sprinter all time. And Athlos celebrated the now retired sprint legend in fine style. And for me, perhaps the highlight of last night's entire event was the crowning of Shelly-Ann Fraser-Pryce by the remarkable Serena Williams. As stated here, Shelly-Ann Fraser-Pryce receives her Tiffany crown from Serena Williams at the 2025 Athlos NYC meet.
There it is.
Shelly-Ann Fraser-Pryce was the big winner for Jamaica at last night's event. And people, the significance of the GOAT of women's tennis, crowning the GOAT of women's 100 meters track and field, is not lost. I mean, it was really a remarkable and a magical moment. Congratulations to the great one herself, the greatest of all time, Shelly-Ann Fraser-Pryce.
Introducing Peter Lloyd World merchandise, where style meets comfort. From trendy tees to cozy hoodies, we've got something for everyone. Elevate your wardrobe with our high-quality, fashionable designs that make a statement. Whether you're hitting the streets or chilling at home, Peter Lloyd World has you covered. Shop now and upgrade your look with Peter Lloyd World merchandise. Available exclusively at Peter Lloyd World. Link in description below.
Now, before we get into the meet itself, something pretty interesting happened last night, and I thought I wanted to comment on it. Alexis Ohanian, who is the owner and promoter of the show and happens to be the husband of living legend Serena Williams, made a very interesting announcement last night, which I just want to talk about very briefly. The gentleman who is worth approximately 150 million US dollars announced last night that this Athlos is going to become a league which he will formally start in 2026. That's really big news. And it just struck me that his technique made more sense in terms of basic business. He started Athlos last year, a one-night event. He paid out a little less than Michael Johnson, then did it again this year, slightly expanded the event, and then he's going to, in the third year, create a league. Michael Johnson sort of just jumped all the way in, people. He started out with 3 meets, so therefore he had to pay out way more money. He had to carry a bigger staff. It's just a difference in terms of technique, but obviously Ohanion's technique to me seems to make more sense in terms of gently walking into the water, testing the waters. Very different type of event, by the way, but I just thought you should know that Athos, as of 2026, is going to become a league unto their own, a track league. The first event of the night was the women's 100 meters hurdles, which features Jamaica's Megan Tapper. Now, unfortunately, Megan Tapper was injured, although she qualified to represent the island of Jamaica at this year's Tokyo 2025 World Athletics Championships. So it was good to see her back on the track. However, just recovering from injury, and this late in the season, I wasn't quite sure what to expect from her. And she was standing up against a pretty solid field of great contestants. She was contesting against the likes of Tanae Marshall, who is one of the best on the planet, Alasia Johnson, Grace Stark, all 3 out of the United States, Devin Charlton, the world record holder in the women's 60 meters hurdles, and the USA's Olympic champion in the event, Masai Russell. Masai Russell walked away with the win here in a time of 12.52 with a 2.3 meters per second wind behind them. And by the way, people, it was very, very cold, so one should not have expected fast times. Grace Stark took second in 12.60, Alasia Johnson third in 12.66, and Jamaica's Megan Tapper came sixth in 12.92. Here is that race highlight.
With Athlos NYC. Devin Charlton off, and as she does, a good early start, but fairly competitive in the middle of the track. As they come into view, Masai Russell maybe slightly ahead, and the Olympic champion starts the night off.
Now, speaking of Megan Tapper, news is that Megan Tapper has decided to switch her track club and coaching team. Olympic sprint hurdles bronze medalist Megan Tapper is leaving Elite Performance Track Club to work with Lonnie Green, head coach at the University of Kentucky, ahead of the 2026 season. A grade 1 hamstring strain ruled Tapper out of the Tokyo World Championships last month. I'm going to comment on that in my 2 cents, but I'd love to hear your thoughts. Do you think she should be making this move? All right. And Tapper was also interviewed after her Athlos run.
Megan Tapper, first race since pulling out of the World Championships in Tokyo. And obviously I'm going to ask the question everybody wants to know. Could you reveal what the injury was that pulled you out?
I had a grade 1 strain.
Grade 1 strain?
Yes, I just needed a couple more days.
Couple more days. Now, we should have talked to the World Championships.
Delay.
A little bit. How you feeling now? 12.92, decent race for not running for a long time?
Horrible race. Yeah. Horrible, but it's expected. I was really rusty. I'm very grateful that I got the opportunity to come out here. Athos is a beautiful, amazing meet. Yeah. So I'm really, really happy. I got to come out here. 12.92. I was about to cry, but y'all kind of lifted my spirits a little.
That's good. I mean, but let's talk about the year that we've been having, which has been a great year. I think everybody in Jamaica love this comeback story. Aww. You know, you've had this story where it's like you're little. Yeah, you really embody what Jamaica is. Look about Talawa, right? And people love that about you and the energy that you bring forward. I mean, obviously you have an Olympic medal, and everybody was expecting, something big to come in Tokyo. God wasn't ready for that yet. We're dealing for another way. We got World Championship coming in 2027. Yes. But coming into this year, what was your mindset? How were you able to get back to the top of your game, be the best that you've ever been?
The most important thing is to curate your space. Mm-hmm. Surround yourself with people who support you. Surround yourself with people who uplift you when you're down. Not bring you down while you're down or keep you down while you're down, but who lifts you up. And I thank God the Lord has blessed me with an amazing support team. Yeah. every single one of you. Words cannot describe how grateful I am for everything you've done, every word you've said, everything you've poured into me. You're the reason why I am here today. 1292 last, but you know.
Hey, it's just steps, but I can tell you from my experience, the Jamaican fans love you. So what message do you have to Jamaican fans as they watch you now celebrate, your successes that you've had, becoming a national champion this year, and the success that you're going to have? Because we know there's more success coming.
There is absolutely more. Put God first and foremost. Allow Him to guide you and lead you. And when He tells you to move. Don't let Him force you.
You hear that?
It's not going to be cute. So when He tells you to move, and you'll be okay. God has your back. 1292, He has my back. I believe.
All right, guys. Megan Tapper, New York City.
Awesome interview there with Megan Tapper. Very, very revealing. Of course, I'm going to talk about this in my 2 cents. Now, as I said, they added the women's long jump to this year's event. Last year it was only track events. And apparently how this happened is the world and Olympic champion in this event, she contacted the promoters of Athlos, and that's how this all came to be. People, I kind of like that energy and that vibration. This young lady is one of my favorite long jumpers. She's not a yardie, but she's really bringing attention to long jump in particular. Of course, I'm talking about the American jumper, Tara Davis Woodhull. And honestly, people, she brings an energy and vibe to long jump that, look, people, the fact of the matter is, in today's world of social media, we need athletes who can pull eyes. At this point, unfortunately or fortunately, attention is now the new currency, and this young lady really pulls eyes. She won the women's long jump event, no surprise there, with a very spectacular final jump, something she has done on several occasions, of 7.13 meters. Jasmine Moore, also of the United States, took second in this event with her best, not her best jump, but her best jump in the final section of the night of 6.64 meters. Here is her jump.
Wow!
The women's 100 meters was also very entertaining. Brittany Brown took on Jassius Sayers, who took on Joniel Smith of Jamaica. The only Jamaican there, Zoe Hobbs, was also in the mix, alongside Kayla White and the African legend herself, Marie-Josée Talou Smith. In the end, Brittany Brown won this one in 10.99, with Jassius Sayers taking second in 11.01 seconds. Kayla White of the United States took third in 11.22. Talou Smith ran fourth in 11.23. Jamaica's Joniel Smith came fifth in 11.24, and Zoe Hobbs of New Zealand took sixth in 11.30. Here's that race highlight.
Standing room crowd on the right. 100 meters to crown a champion at Athlos. As Kayla White got a good start on the inside in 4. This is very even with Sears now emerging, trying to race with Brittany Brown, and Brown's going to get it at the line as she ran a very...
One of my personal favorites in the mile, Faith Kipyegon walked away as the Athlos champion, running around the pacemaker herself and Sega. It was kind of funny, people, because they didn't need no pacemaker. The Kenyan walked away in a dominant win in 4 minutes 17.78 seconds, with Sega taking second, of Ethiopia taking second in 4 minutes 19.75 seconds. And USA's Nikki Hiltz took third in 4 minutes 32.51 seconds.
Well, 200 meters to run. Sagai, you can see it on her face. She's starting to lose traction and ground to the world record holder, who has put together another iconic season. And this icon is heading into the stadium, named icon. Fitting tribute here. Sagai doing everything she can to stay in close contact. But this crown is going to the greatest of all time. Faith Kipyegon wins the mile in the fastest mile ever run on U.S. soil. And now the race behind Nikki Hiltz.
Keely Hodgkinson walked away with the win in the women's 800 meters, which also featured Jamaica's Natoya Gould-Toppin, the several times national champion in that event. Hodgkinson won in a time of 1 minute 56.53, a new meet record. Hunter Bell of Great Britain took second in 1 minute 58.33. Of course, I should tell you that Hodgkinson is also from Great Britain. Natoya Gould-Toppin was fourth in 1 minute 59.01 seconds.
It's going to be a good battle behind her for second, third, and fourth. But now, in isolation, the Olympic champion stretches out the lead. She's going to stretch to the line and break the tape as the Athlos 800-meter champion.
Paulino rebounded from her disappointment at this year's Tokyo 2025 World Athletics Championships to take the win here at the Athlos NYC 2025 at the women's 400 meters. The Dominican track queen was absolutely dominant in her run. Paulino won in a time of 50.07 seconds, with Nasir taking second in 50.94. Jaeger took third in 51.24. Here is that race highlight.
Coming into the main straightaway, these two do battle. And now Paulino, look at the strength she has at the tail end of this race. And she comes back to New York and comes back for another crown as she takes the victory at 400.
Brittany Brown once again was the big winner at the Athlos, but this time she walked away with two crowns, winning the 100 and 200 meters. Last year she came second in the 100 meter, second in the 200 meters and first in 100 meters, and walked away with the biggest prize money. This year she certainly walked away with the biggest prize money. She collected a total of $120,000 for these two races. Huge. This may be her thing, people. Brittany Brown has had a really great season, but I'm sure was disappointed because she was off the podium at the Tokyo 2025 in the women's 200 meters, her favorite event. Brittany Brown won in a time of 21.89, a meet record. And a personal best. Really remarkable given the fact that it was so cold and it was so late in the season. And Eva Battle ran and took second in 22.21. Talu Smith came third in 22.65 seconds. Here's that race highlight.
Navia battle Paul in the middle of the field.
But here comes Brittany Brown looking for the Athlos sweep. 2 crowns for Brittany Brown.
Wow, and wow. Lara is right. I think we...
Now this, of course, is my 2 cents. What can I say? The biggest winner for Jamaica was, of course, the living legend, the greatest of all time in the women's 100 meters, the remarkable Shelly-Ann Fraser-Pryce, who, every time I say she's retired, I get a slight pain in my heart. I don't mean it literally, but you get what I'm saying. Incredible, just the visual of the greatest female tennis player, the GOAT of female tennis, placing the crown on the GOAT, the greatest female 100 meter sprinter all time. Some say the greatest female sprinter, period. I kind of believe that. It's the visual, the aesthetics of this is just incredible. And Shelly-Ann Fraser-Pryce deserves all the accolades she's getting. I mean, what she's achieved I have not done my Shelly-Ann Fraser-Pryce videos yet, people, because the truth is I'm a huge Shelly-Ann Fraser-Pryce fan. And I think anybody who's come to this channel would know that. And I get very emotional when I talk about Shelly-Ann Fraser-Pryce and her walking away, and what she has done for us as Jamaicans is just, and what she has done for the sport and for the women in the sport of track and field is just incredible. I mean, I don't think we'll ever see anyone equate what she has achieved. Just like how I think it's going to be almost impossible for anyone to break Usain Bolt's records. Anyway, so for me, she was the big winner. Now, the women's 100 meters hurdles awesome race, but it was cold, people. Very, very, very cold and very, very late in the season. So I was not really expecting anything great. And the truth is, I wasn't quite sure what to expect from Megan Tapper. I'm a huge Megan Tapper fan and I know this, but wasn't quite sure. She was just coming back from injury. It's very late in the season. It's been a long season and it was cold as heck. I have a couple of friends who were there and them tell me it really cold, especially for we artists. So I wasn't sure what to expect. I was hoping she'd do a little better, but I'm fine. It's late in the season. Hopefully she collects some money. It's all good. Messiah Russell looked good. I guess I'm sure she was very disappointed with her performance at the Tokyo 2025 World Championships. But nonetheless, I enjoyed this event. The women's 100 meters. Truth is, I thought Danielle Smith would have done a little better than she did. She did okay. But again, I guess I didn't factor in. I got caught up in the euphoria of her run at the World Championships, and I just didn't calculate the fact that I wouldn't have known this. It was cold as heck. She's not from the US, and we artists don't like it that cold. And secondarily, it's late in the season. She's been running. It's been a long season, so kudos to her. I think she did a solid job. I think she's going to have a great 2026 season. I hear some of you commenting, I mean, not very many though. Most of you seem to think that she may be on the verge, and I think she's on the verge. I did a whole video on that. Go watch it. But yeah, I was hoping she would have run a little better, but again, given the circumstances and being this late, I had actually thought she could have won. But Brittany Brown was just on fire. I mean, the time that Brittany Brown laid down in this 100 meters in this ice cold this late in the season, and Brittany Brown has run the entire season, and she managed a sub 11. That is no joke. Brittany Brown is interesting, really interesting. Faith Kipyegon, on a normal of her, incredible, the GOAT of what she does. Absolutely incredible female talent, just next level. Kind of like the Shelly-Ann Fraser-Pryce of what she does. Just incredible. Woodhall. I was really impressed with the fact that the promoter said she contacted them and said, hey, I only saw women running. Why don't we have long jump? And I mean, they had long jump in Times Square. People may not think I understand how big that is, you know. That's a huge deal. And she brought excitement to it. I like her. You know, I like, just like how I like Noah Lyles. And I know some of you think I don't like Noah Lyles, but I'm going to say it again. In today's world, fortunately or unfortunately, eyes or attention is the new currency. And track and field has moved up from 15th place in terms of world sports to now 6th based on my Google search. So, I mean, we need that. You know, one of the last surges that track and field have was, of course, the great Usain Bolt. I mean, he was just doing the impossible. And Usain Bolt, so personable, so likable. I mean, just, you know. So I really was encouraged by this young lady's cojones, her go out and get it kind of thing. Really admired that, and the fact that they embraced her. And I hopefully we see some Jamaican women long jumpers here next year. I mean, Jamaica has a great contingency of talent, so I'm hoping to see that. But so it really impressed me that she's a go-getter. I don't know, people. I kind of like that about her. And like I said, she brings eyes to the sport, and she's tremendously talented. It's not all fluff. She's a talented young lady, and she delivers on the big occasion. I mean, she, again, once more, her best jump was her final jump. Awesome, 7.13. This year, late in the year in the freezing cold, trust me, you have to be impressed with that jump. So, unfortunately, no yardies were there. And in fact, there were only 3 Jamaicans in the entire thing. Natoya Gould-Topping, always off the podium. I am a huge fan of Natoya Gould-Topping. And to be running this well this late in the season after such a long season, hats off to her. Hodgkinson herself is a big story, people. She had injury issues throughout the year, came back, won in Tokyo, came back, won here, looked good. Natoya Gould, hats off to you. I think you're like, what, 33 now, and you're still in that top 10 tier. I'm hoping next year treats you better. I'm hoping next year you get a medal. I think you deserve one. But great run. Really enjoyed it. Keela Hutchinson deserved to win. There's no question about that. She was the last part of the season has been a great season for her. The women's 200 meters, Brittany Brown, people. Me can't say nothing else. Brittany Brown was just incredible. I mean, a new PB this time of year in the freezing cold after one of the longest track seasons in history. But I may have to give her our dues. Now, of course, the question is, why weren't there more Jamaicans there? Well, it's kind of obvious, people. It's freezing cold, it's very late in the season, and I keep saying it's been a very, very late season. So the athletes are recovering now, and some of them have probably already started to craft themselves for next year, meaning they start training. So, you know, I hope more yardies would have been there, and I also hoped for better results, but the fact of the matter is we had three Jamaicans representing us. The greatest of all time, the Queen herself, was crowned by the greatest of all time in her sport, Shelly-Ann Fraser-Pryce, and I think this is a big deal. Now, final thing I want to talk about. I brought up that entire process of how they initiated this to point out what Michael Johnson might have done wrong. Michael Johnson went all in. What this gentleman and these people did is they came in, they did one thing, they tested it out, they spent a lot of money on this one thing, promoted it. The whole atmosphere here is so different. I mean, people, throughout the entire meet, there was a party, disco lights, people were dancing in the audience, having a great, and there were so many young people. I want you to understand that's a big deal. And Jamaica is one of the few places where young people are so engaged in track and field. And I mean, what they're doing works. But it was clever because what he did is, I guess he tested it out the first year. By that time, the sponsors came on. I mean, you know, he didn't have enough money. And he had sponsors last year, but even more this year. So now he can go into the next phase, which is the league, which is probably what Michael Johnson should have done, because he wouldn't have ended up in this. If he had just done one thing, Jamaica, one thing, he would have just paid one group of people. That would have been it. Hyped it up. Really spent all the money he could have on it. Really made it a big deal. Bringing some celebrities like Athlos did, Athlos owners and board did. And, you know, but this may be the future of track and field as we know it. I mean, people were dancing the entire meet, people. They were literally. And there were so many celebrities there. But this, of course, is my 2 cents. I want to hear your thoughts. Do you think this could be the future of track and field? Because this would pull in a lot of the young people. It's short, it's compact. It's almost like what Kerry Packer did with cricket, where we went from test cricket to, you know, a much shorter event. And I think one of the reasons why it's been hard for track and field to catch on is because, fortunately or unfortunately, the attention span of many of our younger folks tend to be a little shorter because of social media. Anyway, let me know your thoughts. Now, don't forget to support the channel. Check out our merch store at printify.com. Buy something, people. I'll leave a link in the description below. And don't forget to check us out. Join us on our Facebook, Peter Lloyd World, at our Facebook page. Great things happening over there. We have a video that just hit 6 million views, some 200. We're doing really, really well over there. So thank you to everyone. And our followers there has more than doubled. Check us out on Instagram, Peter Lloyd World, also at Instagram. And let me say, new music will be dropping very soon. Yeah, people. I'm going to be dropping some new music soon. Now, don't forget to hit the subscribe button, the notification bell, and hit the like button. Remember, you are royals, kings and queens. Bless up.